Hey guys, this is Nathan from Bagelpop, and I just want to give you fair warning. We're going to spoil pretty much everything. So yeah, you've been warned previously on our Terra Formars review. He's going to die
in a productive
but
manner.
not before,
like
the girl who's in love with him dies. Like the girl who's in love with him is
she's
gonna
so
die
fucked.
in a horrible like one of them is gonna do like a heroic act or something really tragic is gonna happen between them. One of them is gonna be like fucking in half and bleeding out, and then confirm the other one's love. Alright, so we just watched episode 4. I called that shit.
Yeah. Nathan
called it play by play.
I didn't know that it was. I didn't think it would happen in this episode.
Sheila, no.
But it's pretty much when they know it's like, oh, you really like that person. I was like, this bitch gonna die.
Yeah. Well, you got it like how and the circumstance and what happens after though. You called it.
You like hold her, and then there's gonna be a very emotional moment. Yeah, and then he's like, why? And now I must avenge you. And then shit is about to go down. But it wasn't even the captain that avenged her. It was like her...
The other crush.
Yeah.
Well, you basically called it. So 25 minutes ago, you called the fact that Sheila had to die because she was the only one who said she actually loved somebody else.
Yeah.
And when she dies, then the other characters can start falling. 10 minutes into the episode, she dies. And exactly what happens. Emotional breakdown, and now you have war.
You know, we're gonna have a fucking war. I didn't think it would spring on the war. I thought the war was already gonna happen, and she was gonna, like, I knew there was gonna be a big hole in her. I think I knew exactly. There was gonna be a giant fucking hole in her, or she was gonna be torn in two. And then, like, she was gonna die in someone's arms, and they were gonna be crying. I just thought that they would get their powers first before it happened. But nope, it was the inciting incident in this one. They were like, fuck this shit. And now we learned that, basically they're all injected with the same organs that the bugs have, which is like the mosaic organs, which allows them to essentially, like, evolve hyper quickly or something, or essentially allows them to survive.
Basically, what the gist of it is that the cockroaches have been living on Mars for over 500 years. And because of their evolution on the rough terrain, they build up a stronger, basically, organ system than humans have. That's why they're so big, they're so strong, and because they took the adaptation of the human form, you know, and that's why they're so fast and strong and stuff like that. Yeah. So just using that as a base, after the Bug 2 landed, the humans stole that back. Like saying how the bugs, or the cockroaches, are stealing techniques and stuff from Bug 2, they did the same thing by stealing, you know, because that's what they said happened when you go through the surgery. Your organs basically got an upgrade so that you can, you know, breathe on Mars. Your bone structure is stronger. You're like, you know, you're more powerful. Like in the next few episodes, it's going to tell you how much more powerful they are in that concept. So
yeah, and in 20 years, the advancement in technology is now that, essentially, like. The first people, the second people, the ones that went in Bug 2 had the mosaic organs, and they all had only bug upgrades. But now the ones that have come on Bug 3,
they actually didn't have the organs. They just had a regular bug upgrade.
Okay, so now they can use.
So now it's like a bug upgrade plus the organs plus an adaptations of
any creature on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Honey badger is really high up there. This isn't a joke. Like, an actual honey badger is incredibly fucking hard to kill.
Yeah.
Like, they have extremely loose skin and extremely thick skin, so you can't, like, if you shoot a honey badger, it won't even die unless you shoot it with, like, the correct bullet. Like, they're extremely hard to kill. They have very loose skin, so they're very hard to, like, bite on, and they just, like, they really don't give a fuck. They have tolerance. They have extremely high tolerance to poisons and venom and toxins. So I think like a honey badger. This is the next discussion: is what animal would you choose to inject yourself with an upgrade? Austin, you're a little bit far away from your mic.
Oh yeah, sorry. Also, it's like it sucks for the people with like number 85, where you're just like, fuck.
Well, she was 92.
Sheila was 89.
Yeah.
She was. Wait, when did it say that?
When
the episode before,
she was about to shoot the gun, and the guy was like, "Oh, you're ranking.
Oh yeah.
So you need to learn how to shoot these guns and blah blah blah."
You're shitty.
What the fuck was
shitty
she?
animal.
A flamingo?
I don't think a flamingo would have been that good. I don't know. I feel like maybe like an elephant or a tiger, like are relatively good, but not when compared to like the strength and speed of
Proportionate strength and speed.
proportionate speed to like a bug. A bug is like so good.
And you are correct on that, because the part that I read in the comic and the reasoning why they have bug base is that you were correct. Like, you're right. Bugs are faster. Bugs are stronger. And they kind of give you a gist of it, saying like, oh, you're right. You know, an elephant is big and strong. But that's just because of the size. What they're doing in this anime and manga is that if you notice, like earlier, they're always saying like, oh, a cockroach is really, really fast. But if you put it to human scale, then they're only that much faster and that much stronger.
Yeah, so if you scale everything to bug proportions, like almost nothing can beat a bug in like quickness.
And like just giving it away, well, not really much, but this is basically from Bug 2 crew, that like one of them was saying how like the ant is practically one of the strongest bugs. Yeah. Why? Because they can carry things that are 100 times their size.
Yeah.
You know, their strength is just so unproportional to any other bugs. And it's like, you know, the ant's really strong. So if you put a human who can carry 100 times their size, it's just like, that's going to be a strong ass ant human.
Yeah. Human,
like,
that's where
ants are pretty, I feel like an ant, or maybe like an ant that also has poison is actually like fire really ants. Strong. Like fire ants would be really strong. Army ants, but I mean like the thing is like ants are really strong because there's like a lot of them, even though proportionally they're really strong. Like grasshoppers and fleas have incredible jumping ability.
I think a fly probably still has the best reflexes too.
No, I don't know. I think it's just you come in contact with a fly a lot, so you think, but a fly doesn't have a like very good it doesn't have very good offensive capabilities. Like you think about like a scorpion has pretty good offensive capabilities, but not exactly like hyper fast or strong. Spiders, I think spiders are some of the top ones.
Flea was really good, like you said. You can fucking jump.
Yeah, fleas they have such good jumping ability. They can suck blood. That's pretty high up there. If you're gonna be in water, a shark is very hard to beat. A shark is
there are one of things that can beat a shark in water.
A shark is almost perfect evolution. If you think about like when dinosaurs roamed the earth, there were sharks, and they look exactly the fucking same because they're pretty much a perfect like design for water. Yeah, perfect apex predator. Unfortunately, I don't know how much water is on Mars. So
they said not very much.
I don't know how good shark guy's gonna do.
On a scientific note, that's actually I like how they said there's not much water. Because Mars in real life has polar ice caps like the Earth. Mm-hmm. The thing is, it's all dry ice.
Yeah, and that's why the whole.
I don't know how good shark guy's gonna do.
If you notice what she was saying earlier, it was all ice, and the whole point of this whole project was to warm up Mars so that can melt, and that the planet can get warmer, that it can absorb more sun and stuff like that, so that you can actually try to live on there. And they're not that far into it where they can't actually live up there yet, but.
I will say absorb more sun is not really a thing.
No, that's what they say.
You have to alter the orbit of the whole planet to get more sun, which is why I understand it's cold because it's further away from the sun than the Earth. But actually, it's not so much further away where it makes a huge amount of difference. But whatever, close enough. It's a good enough reason.
I'm trying to think. Like a cockroach is such a good bug. If you just want to survive, like there's few creatures that are harder to kill.
That you can throw on another planet to actually.
Yeah, cockroaches are they showed in a nuclear winter, cockroaches, and I think Is it like moss? Moss can survive in space.
Yeah, moss and
that's exactly the algae moss and cockroaches are the two things that are refuge.
Yeah, like a cockroach is so fucking hard to kill. Like, you could fucking microwave them and they're almost unkillable. I'm trying to think of all the insects that are... There's gonna be a bee of some kind.
There's a hornet person, right? They got, like, a spike hand.
Yeah.
The captain is the hornet.
Like, bees are pretty strong. I'm trying to think of other really strong bugs.
Because right now, from this point, we know about, 3 or 4 that's been mentioned.
Yeah. Ooh.
So you have the 9th ranking guy, which is a spider, a specific type of spider that doesn't have
so there can be different types of spiders?
Black Widow.
Black Widow is actually not that.
It's not that good. It's
Black Widow
very venomous. That's it.
Is hyper venomous, but actually, if for speed and like power and agility, it's fucking so shitty.
See, one thing I want to say about what this anime does is that it actually educates you as you go along, because these are actual creatures and bugs that exist, and it's like from reading all the comments and stuff, like people are really intrigued in the fact that it's like, oh man, I learned something every episode. So like maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Like, you know, saying absorbing the sun is not correct or whatever, but just like that concept, it's the easiest way to let people cope with it. You know, like if I don't know the scientific term of how we can make Mars warmer, that would be like the generic idea that I can go through with, you know? And it's just like with these bugs, it's just like, oh, they're not saying that like, oh, this guy's a spider, he should have 8 legs. Instead, they're using specific traits of actual bugs that makes them distinguish from their other type of families.
The skills that keep them help them survive.
We suspend disbelief because the fun factor is high enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one. A centipede is really one tough fucking bug.
Oh yeah, I think
you can cut them in half.
Hyper venomous. Ooh, a starfish. Wait, think about it. You can get cut in half as a starfish, but you just grow.
Yeah,
just grow to another one.
But no offense.
Yeah, so Austin is correct, and it's like I was just saying earlier, they're going to, what they do within this anime is that they pick really, really specific traits of certain bugs and animals that really stand out to put them above their regular species. So like, as you mentioned earlier, Nathan, you said the army ant is stronger than the regular ant, and that's true, you know? So it's like, they're not like, oh, this guy's just an ant, but instead he's like an army ant.
Very specific type of army ant.
Yeah, a very specific type
Black Mamba is like
like certain snakes. No, is a Black Mamba, I don't think it's fast.
No, you didn't, Black Mambas?
Black Mambas are hyper poisonous. I don't know if they're the fastest snake.
It bit a guy 15 times in 5 seconds.
Alright, that's pretty fast.
You ever heard, Black Mambas are fast, that's why they're dangerous. They're actually not, I think you're getting confused with something else.
Because they aren't as dangerous, but they just bite you multiple times, so they inject you with more venom.
Yeah, that's what. And I think it's pretty damn venomous to humans already, but like it can kill a horse because it bites the shit out of it.
Yeah,
like it was in the guy's sleeping bag, and instead the 5 seconds it took to pull the guy out, he was bitten 15 times.
Yeah, I was thinking like a snake would be a pretty good one. Snakes are pretty good.
Like a specific one. I think Black Mamba is the fastest.
Black Mamba. I'm also thinking about that certain lizards. Like a Komodo dragon is, I don't know, it's not that fast. There are certain lizards that have hyper venomous bites. They just have like so much bacteria in their mouth that they
poison dart frog.
Oh, that's an interesting one. So, like your body is just hyper venomous.
Yeah, it's like I dare you to touch me.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good against like a mass amount of people.
Either, but
and then there's the lizard that can run the Jesus Christ lizard that can run across water.
Like, that was another thing, is that water striders aren't fast, they just displace their weight.
That's true.
Whatever. I just let's go with that one.
Like a peregrine falcon is like the fastest
200 miles an hour, yeah.
Yeah, if you proportional that to a human, if a human's going that fast, it's gonna do a good amount of damage. Well, no, dragon.
Fucked.
In this, I wouldn't be a hawk. I would be a hummingbird.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Let me stop you guys there for a second. So, you guys are going through speculations of what is strong and what has good abilities. And yes, that is a really good way to look at it. And like how Nathan said earlier, and how he said that, you know, like bugs is pretty high up there because they're so small and that they're just so strong in general. And I feel from what I know, read, and watched so far, I can say that basically one thing that they focus on really highly is scale. So they always mention the fact that this is how good the insect or bug or creature is normally, but if you increase the scale to human size, it just ups it 10, 20, 30 times higher, so to make them stronger. So that's one of the aspects of where they go about choosing the creature. And two is that you're going to start noticing that, because like even if you watch earlier, the guy ranked in 9th, they said that specific type of spider hunts cockroaches.
That's what I was thinking. What are predators to cockroaches? But they said the spider already, so I don't know what else there is.
So a lot of the type of creatures and bugs that they choose for these specific operations and surgeries on the characters
eat bugs,
has an advantage over cockroaches somehow, or has a perk that is needed to use for the mission.
Yeah, role players. They're role players.
Yeah, Hawk Girl is probably super dumb compared to cockroaches, but you probably need someone that can fly to do damage to cockroaches when they fly.
Yeah, probably better in the air than...
Maybe the Peregrine Falcon thing, because cockroaches can fly, they suck at flying. They're very awkward and horrible aerodynamically, but they still can fly barely. Hawks are great at flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like what I've noticed from all of like the abilities and things I've seen so far is that they choose specific powers and abilities for certain situations. So not everybody out of that 100 crew is super useful in combat, but they probably have an ability that
support roles and stuff
to them somehow. Because like say that Water Strider guy, right? The power that they took, that guy was from Bug 2. And from what I read in the chapter in Bug 2, he wasn't really a main character roleplay, but he was used as an emergency getaway.
Just like, get the fuck out of here.
He uses his ability to help the team escape faster because he has that power pressure to push something really fast.
What animal has that? What animal has a power pressure?
The one that shot out the arms?
Yeah.
The hot gas.
Strider.
A what?
A Water Strider bug or something like that? I don't know what
it
it
was.
was.
Like a water bug?
Oh, I don't think they do.
A water bug can shoot hydrochloric acid.
It's not, I forgot what kind of bug it is, but it's in part of the first 6 chapters, and it explains that basically it uses it as a measure for
escape. It's actually called a bombardier beetle. It's, here, let me read this.
Oh, there is a type of insect.
It is bombardier beetle. This spray is produced by a reaction between hydrogen peroxide and hydroquinone. Exactly what they said.
Exactly.
Which is stored in separate reservoirs. Yeah. And when mixed in a third chamber with water, heat from the reaction brings it to near boiling point of water and produces gas that drives the ejection. The damage can be fatal to attacking insects and small creatures and is painful to human skin. And they can direct the spray over a wide range of directions. Holy shit, this thing is scary.
You know what I would get now that I thought about it?
Oh, wait, I was mixing the 2 characters together. But yeah, there was 2 different guys with different builds that were really similar. But yeah.
The guy who's really fast is using the water bug, right?
Yeah. The guy really fast.
That makes sense.
The guy who shot the arm was using a different bug. The beetle guy that Austin just mentioned.
So
I was getting them mixed up.
Yeah, when you think about like quickness, there's nigh creatures that are faster than like a water bug. They're fucking so quick.
Because I know that water bug that what they were saying in the comic was that water bug uses to float on top of the water to get away from something really fast.
Yeah.
And that's how the cockroaches adapt to it.
There's a lot of different like specific, I don't know, if you go into the Amazon, there's like a million fucking like bugs that have like chemical reactions. Like they use chemicals in like defensive measures or in offensive measures. There's also like snakes that can shoot venom, like spit venom. So there's a lot of cool possibilities. There's also like a skunk. I don't know how offensive. Like I don't know if they're whatchamacallit like has it, but like a skunk is pretty fucking tough. A porcupine, pretty good defensively. Like you think about it, or an armadillo. Like, pretty good.
Armadillo would be very good just straight armor plating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. I think we've surmised enough.
Because within the next 2 episodes, I think you're going to learn about 3 to 4 more peoples and their abilities and rankings.
Yeah.
And that's when I started learning that, like, when I first saw Striker, I was like, oh man, Striker's so fucking awesome. But then you start understanding that the 100 people that they sent, they chose these powers specifically to have a purpose in the team. As a whole team play. Like some were, offensive, some were more like tactical, some were more defensive and stuff like that. And it's just like, which is really interesting because it makes you want to know like, what are they going to use their specific bug power for to help out? You know?
It seriously wonder how the mission would have gone if they actually landed all 100 people successfully. Instead of getting half of them slaughtered.
And that's what I was going to say in this episode when you said specifically, like, oh, I wish I knew, like, what power that she had. That's a very Game of Thrones thing. That's why, what's even more heartbreaking about Game of Thrones is not that a character that you love dies. It's also the fact that you realize that is a storyline that you will never get. Like, that's what Game of Thrones is so great, is it makes you attached to certain relationships and also certain storylines. So when you learn what's so heartbreaking about Season 1, Khaleesi and Khal Drogo, is you see that they have the possibility for this family. You see that there's a possibility of them to cross the sea and to conquer Westeros, and there's a lot of hope for that. And then all that is taken away. Like, her son is killed, her future is all taken away, and that whole entire storyline is gone. And I feel like that's kind of something that this one plays along with.
Or in the Red Wedding, where it's like,
there's
the Starks are on the verge of victory, but then they won't. They won't avenge the death of Ned.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
All that stuff's never gonna happen.
That whole storyline just went away. Yeah. The whole
Robb won't get a family. So sad.
Like when you see Arya Stark training with her swordmaster. The swordmaster was such a cool guy. You're like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be such a badass like swordsman, and then like he's gone. Like all these relationships.
Although there's a theory about the swords destructor. Did you see that?
Let's put that for another day.
We'll put that something else.
But essentially, it's like all these storylines that you'll never get, and that makes it even more hard for when you lose certain characters. But anyway, I'm ready. I'm ready for this next episode.